President Trump says Iran appears to be standing down after it launched overnight more than 20 missiles at Iraqi bases where US troops are stationed. Donald Trump urged countries, including the UK, to send a clear and united message to Iran that its campaign of terror will no longer be tolerated. The attack was ordered in response to the assassination of General Qasem Soleimani by the US. The ballistic missiles were launched from the western Kermanshah province. Al-Assad Air Base in Iraq's Anbar province was hit 17 times, including by 2 missiles that failed to detonate. According to the Iraqi government, a further 5 missiles were targeted at a base in Erbil. Both the UK and American governments have said none of their citizens were killed or injured. Well, our Middle East editor, Jeremy Bowen, is in the Iraqi capital, Baghdad. Jeremy.
Yeah, thanks very much, Sophie. First of all, there have been some explosions in Baghdad in the last hour or so, not very far from here. Some rockets, too, apparently fired towards the American embassy, fortress-like structure, no casualties there. Far away in Washington, President Trump seems to believe that he has the Iranians in retreat. That could be wishful thinking. The first phase of their reaction to the assassination may well now be over, but, you know, it's not the end of the story, and what's more, the fundamentals of the conflict remain very toxic and very dangerous. The Iranians kept their promise and may have bought some time.
No Americans were harmed in last night's attack by the Iranian regime. We suffered no casualties. All of our soldiers are safe. Iran appears to be standing down, which is a good thing for all parties concerned and a very good thing for the world.
It looked different in Iran. A few in Tehran even got up early to celebrate revenge. Here's Zahra Jaspi, a university student. I have a great feeling, she said. I hope revenge continues and I hope to see Trump fail. And later, the regime's faithful chanted death to America, as the supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, told them he hadn't finished yet.
The issue of revenge is something else. What happened last night was just a slap in the face.
For him, the assassination promotes unity in a divided country. And now Iran has more time for its speciality, unconventional warfare using proxies and allies.
All right, shalom. This is Kanaksa Anban Yashar Allah from the GMS Lions in Camp. First and foremost, I'd like to say Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Harakar Kwadash Ma'amath. Double honors to the elder apostles, the great millstone. And salutation to the Akim that are pushing this truth and sincerity and truth. And peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. It's a lot right here. It's a big shitstorm, man, that's brewing up. The pride of Trump in his mind feels like, it says, like, you're looking at the title, this just describes the pride of this man. It says, Trump, Iran standing down after missile strikes. Well, you just clearly heard this the PM of Iran saying, like, that was just a slap in the face. But the act of revenge is something totally different. There are no standing down, right? There is no standing down. They're going to do something else, right? But they're doing it strategically, all right? The Persians, the Iranians, the Persians are the ones that created chess, and it's clear to see that President Trump is just a pretty decent checkers player. But when you're going up against an opponent that's playing chess, that's a whole totally different ballgame. So now his pride has led him to believe that, they're standing down. But nah, because there is not going to be any peace. All right? You just assassinated a highly decorated individual, all right? A highly decorated commander, a highly decorated figure to the people of Iran. And you think just that, and they, like in the beginning of the clip, it says how they calibrated their missile strikes. All right, that was just a warning shot, like a shot in the air, pop, pop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, next time I won't miss, I won't shoot in the air. So you can clearly see that's what it is. But you know, Trump actually thinks that what he did was a justifiable move, and that he prevailed, and now he's talking about NATO and the EU and these other European countries to get more involved in the fighting against terrorism in the Middle East. But just like Israel and these other nations, NATO and he's asking NATO to get involved, but these European nations don't want to get involved with this. They don't. They want Trump to sit down, and because they have closer ties with Iran than they do America, and it's clear. It's clear, and everybody knows about, you know, America. What they do, they're truce breakers. Look at the elder did a lesson on it. Chief Osceola, how they did him. They created the truce with him and broke it. Like, so there's been many truce breakers broken by the United States. Many of them. All right, so I just Google searched treaties that have been broken by the United States, or truces that have been broken by the United States. And the first thing that comes up, it says it's not just Trump. The U.S. has always broken its treaties, pacts, and promises. Treaties between the U.S. and the American Indians in 1722 through 1869. And probably part of that was dealing with Osceola. Treaty of Versailles in 1919. All right. An International Labor Convention Treaty in 1949, Geneva Agreement in 1954, International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights, 1966. And these are just a few. There's more. I'm not going to break all these down. All right, the Law of the Sea in 1982, the Convention of the Rights of Child in 1989, the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty in 1996. So not only do they break treaties with other countries, they break treaties within their own citizens. So yeah, I mean, they're calling for a truce. You know, man, it's a whole bunch of treaties that America and treaties, pacts, and everything that America's broken, man. So it just shows, like, you know, the elder brought up the scripture. Matter of fact, let me find it. All right, this is 2 Timothy chapter 3:3. It says, no, start at 2. It says, start at 1. It says, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, and we're looking at them right now. It says, for men shall be lovers of their own selves. That's Esau, 2/3 of our people. Covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. And this is the image that 2/3 of our people follow behind, and this is the image of the devil. All right, without natural affection, truce breakers. All right, and then we just ran down about 10 of them that America has done. All right, it says false accusers. All right, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, and that's why they're doing this whole Black Hebrew Israelite movement thing to try to persecute the ones that are good, try to associate them with the bad, and that's the so-called white man in a nutshell. And the front runner of that is America. The front runner of that is Donald Trump. So now he's calling for this truce, so to speak. or we're at the time of peace. Iran is standing down. No, they're not. They might be standing down for the time being, but it's going to escalate back again. You know, the Lord just giving his men a little sign, just a little like, hey, just hold tight. We almost out of here. Watch this. That's all the Lord's doing. That's the only reason why you'll see anything calm down. All right, but it's gonna escalate right back up because we're in the year of prophecy, 2020, man, and it's gonna crank up. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. It says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." All right, so the damage that's been caused with that, America's not going to escape from it, man. That's just it. So I'm going to get into this article a little bit and read this. It says, Trump, Iran standing down after missile strikes. Now, I was at work when he did this address, so I couldn't really watch majority of it. But from what I saw, man, like, yo, this is a proud dude, man. He's a proud dude and he's an idiot. Bottom line. He's pulling the same card that he pulled with North Korea. When North Korea called his bluff, right? North Korea called his bluff. He's like, man, we'll blow you to smithereens. And he stood down. So it's America standing down, not Iran. Iran is willing to die for this. They are literally willing. The people of Iran. See, you got America, or you got people in America around here making jokes and memes about World War III, like this shit is not really finna happen. But you seen in that video, what were the people of Iran doing when they seen the missiles being fired off? They were celebrating and chanting death to America. So you're talking about a country divided, which they just said the assassination of a decorated individual, a decorated general, and a decorated people of the public, a person of the public, all right, was assassinated by a country that stands by what they believe in, right? That's not divided, but you have nothing but division in America. And he said that was that was something that was used to try to bring people together, all right? He tried to paint this guy Soleimani as being this terrible guy. The same thing they did, same way they did with Gaddafi, same thing they did with Saddam Hussein, the same thing they're trying to do with al-Assad. All right, so it's just an ongoing thing, right? But these individuals in these countries, they stand together for what they believe in. There's nothing but division in the United States because it's a melting pot with a whole bunch of different confusion. Like one person believes in this, one person believes in that, one person thinks this is right, one person thinks that is right, and that's all you have. That's when you have that freedom of liberty, that demonic libertas a spirit or vibration that America pushes out, and they try to so-called liberate the rest of the world, like meaning taking them out of order. That's what liberation means, out of order. All right, when you liberate something, then you take it from under the governor that it was under. All right, to be freed from it, and that's what America teaches, man. So-called freedom. All right, it says Trump, Iran standing down after missile strikes. U.S. President Donald Trump has said Iran appears to be standing down after it fired missiles at air bases housing U.S. forces in Iraq. Trump, in a televised address from the White House, said no U.S. or Iraqi lives were lost in the attack on the bases suffered only and the bases suffered only minimal damage. The Erbil and the Assad bases were attacked early on Wednesday local time. Iran said it acted in retaliation after the assassination of the top Iranian general Qasem Soleimani last week. The U.S. drone strike targeting him and Iran-backed militia figures in the Iraq capital Baghdad was a major escalation amid already deteriorating relations between Iran and the U.S. Iran is really not Iran don't want to deal with the U.S., but they have to deal with the U.S. because of this whole nuclear deal and things like that. But really, all in all, they don't want to have nothing to do with the U.S. because they're tired of all the sanctions. They're tired of the bullshit that America is putting out. And you know, and but it's not just Iran though. It's not just Iran. All these major countries around the Middle East are sick of America's bullshit. All right. So, but Iran was the first to step out there and be like, you know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb. You know. All right. Let me get this scripture real quick. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 16. It says, "They that see thee shall look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that had the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world a wilderness, and destroyed cities thereof, that opened not the houses of the prisoners?" And that's what they do. They don't open the houses of the prison. All right. A matter of fact, this is the one I wanted. Isaiah 14:10. It says, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Because at one point in time, wouldn't a motherfucker bat their eyes at America? They wouldn't nobody say shit about America. Because America had the whole world trembling. Just like how Rome did. The fierceness of the armies of Rome had the whole world, the known world at that time, trembling. All right, just like how America is to this day. But Kim Jong-un called America's bluff. All right, and the PM of Iran just called America's bluff. Okay, and it's kind of funny that the Persians are going against Babylon the Great. You know, because the Persians that took Persians and the Medes that took took ancient Babylon down. You know. All right. All right. It says let me get the rest of it. Okay. It says Iran's supreme leader Ali Khamenei described the missile attack as a slap in the face for the U.S. and called for an end to American presence in the Middle East. So with that being said, if America doesn't pull out of the Middle East, pull out of Iraq, then there's going to be more to come. They don't trust that stuff. They don't trust America. All right. It says the U.S. attack on Soleimani killed members of pro-Iranian Iraq militias who have also said they would seek revenge. All right. It says, what did Mr. Trump say? It says he was previously threatened military action against Iran if they were to target U.S. personnel, U.S. personnel and bases, but he did not announce any military action, saying Iraq's act had caused no casualties. So he said if Iran attack had no casualty, but before he said if Iran was to retaliate on the assassination of Soleimani, that America was going to attack in brute force. And the elder did a video talking about that, and he had a clip that brought up the 15,000 lies that this man has brought up during his presidency. If that ain't they come out the womb speaking lies, if that ain't the poster child for it, I don't know what is, man. All right. So now he's saying since no Americans were harmed, we'll let that ride. That's just like if somebody swing at you and miss, and you be like, "You lucky you ain't hit me." Nah, they still ready to fight. They just didn't hit. They missed. All right. So, but Iran is not trusting America, and you know America's not trusting Iran because America doesn't trust anybody they shouldn't because of all the havoc and bullshit that he put on the world. But this is Sirach chapter 12 verse 10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, Yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. So he's going to be wicked no matter how much he's trying to act in a righteous manner and saying, oh, we're going to spread peace around the whole world and we're going to get rid of all this wickedness and all this terrorism and this, that, and the third. He's talking a good talk, but like the scripture says, his words are smoother than butter, but war is at his heart. I'm going to get that too. All right. It says, set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place, neither let him sit at thy right hand. So 2/3 of our people fall a victim to this by letting the so-called white man, Esau, sit at their right hand. All right. And that's the thing. You know, you're going to assassinate somebody, like, you know, somebody like that. That's just like them going and killing the Secretary of Defense here in America. You know, they try to get all on. I'm not an Obama fan or whatever, but they try to get on Obama for that Benghazi situation. You know, and they are ready to send drones and attack left and right. But you don't think the same thing's going to happen when you do that to somebody else? You know, I don't know what these. I mean, it's crazy, man. But I'm gonna get one more scripture and close it out. This is Psalm chapter 55, verse 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, but they were drawn swords, man. And that's what it is. Like, he came, like, I was looking over on Facebook today after the address that was given by Trump in the White House, and everybody's like, well, I'm glad he's taking a diplomatic approach and trying to get up talks of peace and this, that, and that. No, he's not. He's not. He's not. He's trying to calm them down so he could do the same thing all over again. It's not an act of peace, it's an act of violence. All right, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying and served this purpose. And with that being said, I'd like to say, Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Harakar Kwadash Ma'amath. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth, and peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.